Are you looking to spice things up in the bedroom? Have you been fantasizing about surprising your lover with an adventurous new toy or even an adult movie? Well, here's the offer for you that you won't be able to refuse. Go to adamandeve.com for a limited time only. You'll get 50% off just about any one item. You'll also receive 3 free adult DVDs for a little inspiration, plus a free extra gift so sensual we can't mention on the radio. And to top it all off, they'll even throw in free shipping on your entire order. So check out adamandeve.com today for this special offer. Type in Just Us Girls using the code USGIRLS at adamandeve.com. Again, offer code USGIRLS at adamandeve.com. See you there.
You are now listening to Between Us Girls, the podcast, where we discuss life's fuckeries and then some over wine.
Hey, welcome to our show. This is Michelle.
And Danielle.
And this is
Between Us Girls.
And we are coming to you live from your daddy's house tonight on this Sunday. And as usual, we have a positive note, some Black history for February. And we're going to tell you what we're sipping on before we jump into our conversation, which tonight we're going to kind of talk about Gucci and the cancel culture. So Danielle, hit the flow.
So this week's positive is fall in love with yourself and the rest will fall into place. And so we kind of talk a lot about self-love and, you know, how everything starts with you and what does it really mean to actually love yourself? You know, I think that it's important that we fully understand what that means. And it is really about self-acceptance and self-respect, having a positive self-image of yourself, and just having a high regard for yourself. And when you have those things, then everybody else will treat you accordingly because you treat yourself with
the utmost respect.
Yeah, with the utmost respect, you do. And so you can't sell anything to anybody that you don't possess. I mean, I've said that like a few times. Yes. So you can't make other people believe that you are loving if you don't even love yourself.
Right.
You know,
right.
I think that's when people sort of see you as a pushover, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Right. I think that's true. And I think for a lot of people, I think this is why a lot of women specifically can resonate with our show, is just because we spend a lot of time talking about self-love and self-care and kind of how to do it. Because a lot of people don't know where to start. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know for a long time, even still sometimes I'm like, well, what do I do? You know, because it's like, I know you're not a proponent for dating yourself, but the times whenever you want to get out and
I still like the term.
I know.
Yeah.
You're okay with doing it. Just don't want to call it that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what are we sipping
on? So this week we are sipping on a red blend from Chain Gang. It's a 2015. It says North Coast Red Wine.
Okay.
It is, the alcohol content is kind of high.
Uh-oh.
And I've already seen it as leggy. It's 15.1%.
Damn. Well, we did say that reds have a propensity to be higher.
Yeah, I think it's kind of high for a blend, though. I don't know, but
yeah,
we'll see how it fares. It does have a lot of legs to it. Like it's thick.
It is.
Yeah.
Very. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk Black history.
Okay, so this week, I actually thought this one was kind of interesting, considering one, that Black women, they weren't really allowed in the medical field for a long time.
Right.
And if we were allowed, it was, as nurses or a CNA or something like that.
Girl working behind the counter, maybe at the black
a
hospital.
receptionist
right.
or whatever.
And you wrong for using the term CNA.
I mean, hey, whatever. Okay, so this week is Dr. Patricia Bath.
Okay.
She was she revolutionized the field of ophthalmology. She invented a device that refined laser cataract surgery, and she is the first African American doctor to have received a medical patent.
Wow. Okay.
So, I would like to say that she allowed you to see that these niggas ain't shit.
Okay. Thank you. What's her name again?
Dr. Patricia Bath.
Patricia Bath.
She invented that in 1988. Like, I think that's pretty cool, that she basically revolutionized the way that laser surgery is done.
Yeah.
So getting rid of those cataracts and all of that stuff.
Right.
A black woman did that. That's pretty dope.
It's really incredible to look at all the things actually that are invented by or orchestrated by black people.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from still a society that kind of looks at black people as less than.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how can you, when all of this brain power is, being shown? It's crazy.
No, I think that black people definitely are geniuses in there, and our ingenuity sort of comes out of a need.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so I'm walking down the street and I can't see at night. I need some lights up there.
Let me figure out how
I'm getting all these cars are going by so fast. I need somebody to stop first.
Yeah.
It's like little stuff like that makes a huge impact on our society, and it's stuff that lasts, long term. Like, black people invented that stuff. Like, it's definitely just out of a need and a sense of purpose,
Right. I definitely agree. Okay, so speaking of black people and a need, so let me first start by saying that recently, I think most people who read blogs or follow social media have seen that there are tons of black designers, and they've been promoted a lot this last week. And that's kind of because of what happened with Gucci. So I'm sure most of y'all know that Gucci made this sweater that kind of goes up to like
to your nose.
Yeah. And it's a black turtleneck with like Sambo lips. That's the only way I can describe it. And it it got a heavy duty backlash.
Well, because they put it on a black woman. I mean a white woman.
Right.
So it makes it stand out. It makes it more prominent. It's like, what are you doing?
Like, not somebody tan.
Yeah. So I mean, it made it even more obvious, and it's like nobody saw this and thought that this looks a little off, or nobody.
Right. Like, you have to have a system of checks and balances in a corporation like that, because if you don't have people on your board or people in your design room who are sensitive to black people or the needs of black people, you're going to end up in a situation like this.
I don't even think that it's that anymore. I feel like at this point, they just don't care. And I say that because, there's so much publicity around all of these different issues. Like, remember, like what it was last year or year before last, maybe with Old Navy, and the little boy, they put that monkey shirt on him.
Oh, that was H&M.
H&M. Okay. Yeah. H&M. And so, and I think P. Diddy ended up giving him like a modeling contract or something like that. But considering all of that, and Prada, I think Prada was actually canceled in China.
Yeah.
Like they pretty much was like, no, we're not supposed to deal with this shit. Like, they took down all ads and everything in China.
After the little monkey keychain?
No, not H&M, Prada. Was it a monkey keychain in Prada?
Prada, like a couple months ago, they had this little keychain that was like a monkey, but it had these like oversized lips.
I want to say that it was something, I feel like I got
So they're like a repeat offender then?
Because I want to say that it was something like dealing with their eyes. That was in the advertisement,
and so that was offensive to them.
Yeah, and they got they pretty much like completely canceled. Was it Prada? Like I feel like I'm getting it all. Like I'm getting it probably all mixed up. But China, somebody did some shit in China,
and they
China
can't
was
get
like,
no more.
hell no, and they completely canceled them all together. Like China was like, we not dealing with this racist shit or whatever. And China is like a huge market. It's like you really shouldn't be fucking with them
At all.
Like China sells to everybody, you know.
I
so,
know, because like especially when you being in kind of like in logistics and the international trade, you see everything has to come from there pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it was Dolce and Gabbana.
Oh.
It was Dolce and Gabbana, I'm sorry.
So yeah.
Like they had a racist ad that was in China, and China was like, bitch, bye.
Okay.
Like, I don't have time for this shit. Like, no. They were
it.
like, mm-mm. So I mean, and I think that's I do believe that it really hurt their bottom line because, you know, like China is a huge market.
Yeah.
But I think that that's the way that we should be responding to these type of ads instead of like getting all worked up like for two weeks tops.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really going to say days, but
no,
you know,
it'd
like
be a minute.
Tops, you know, and then it's like, okay, well, back to normal, you know. But they was just like, you know what? No, I'm completely, we're completely like doing away with you in our stores. We're not having no advertisement. Your apology don't mean shit to us or whatever. Because I mean, they do this stuff and they get all this publicity and they end up making money off of it.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that people see this stuff as an opportunity versus there's nobody in there to say, hey, this shit is not cool. Yeah. It's like, no, we're gonna go ahead and push this through. Our name is gonna be on every website. We're gonna be trending on Twitter and Facebook and on Instagram and whatever, and our name is going to be out there, and it's going to create more of a desire to see our products and what it is that we have to offer. And then people will be like, oh, wait a minute, but I really like that red shirt. That red dress. Like, I don't know, I need that on Saturday. You know, so I think that they outweigh the pros and the cons of it and I think we should go ahead and push it through.
See, and the only reason why I said that is because I feel like there's a major need, and some people are taking heed to it, but for like diversity consulting within these companies, because of the fact that like a lot of these people, like there's this investing firm I follow, it's all women, but every time they post a black woman, you see somebody else post it and go, black owned business. And I'm like, but that's not a black owned business because you're not looking at who is running the business. So a lot of those businesses, they don't have any people of color on their board. They want to reach a different market. But they don't know how. So I think companies who, like you said, might be doing that on purpose, they really need to be looking at how it does affect their bottom line. Because like you said, while for a minute it might be like, oh yeah, we were trending. But people don't necessarily forget those instances. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's just like on the flip side of it, the Nike ad. Yeah. Nike, it was a very positive thing that they did. But it was also seen to other people, you know, like, hey, this is bullshit. Y'all are crossing the line, you know, or whatever. Y'all stepping into this. You don't need to do this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And initially, they took a bit of a hit. Yeah. You know, but in the long run, they gained. Yeah. You know, so, I mean, I think that people look at that as a strategy nowadays. You know, we can go ahead and take this short-term hit, but it's really about the long term or whatever. We have more people that know about our brand that didn't even know about it before. And these rappers or whoever that, like, you know, so what I'm looking for, perpetuate this idea of luxury and stuff or whatever. They're not going to stop doing that, and they're gonna market our message for us. Yeah, just like what's the dude name, the boxer? He's like, Floyd Mayweather. I still fuck with Gucci, you know. And
there are going to be people who do.
Yeah. So I mean, so you have him saying that, and in that sense, he's also marketing for them.
Of course.
By doing that, and he's not trying to do that, but millions of people follow him, and they see him talking about Gucci on his timeline, so they're gonna in turn go and see what Gucci is about.
Right. I agree with that. I think, man, I just lost my train of thought. I did.
So, I mean, so even though in the short term, you know, that
I know what I was
they're taking a hit, they're getting more publicity out of it. and in turn they get more sales in the long run.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say, and I feel like is the results of the Nike campaign being that, you know, the majority of the people who were down for the ad and, you know, appreciative of it, black folks, right? Majority of people who are offended by things like what Gucci did, black people. So I think that really speaks to the power of the black dollar, in that if you really wield it correctly, you control a lot. You know what I mean? Because instead of being, like you said, upset online, actually boycott something.
I don't know if you could really say that we're only like 12% of the population as a whole.
But we spend more money than anybody because we don't have no damn savings.
But I mean, like, if you're really only 12% of the population, do as a business, am I really gonna care?
I mean,
about your fit? Like, I mean,
should.
just real talk. Like, am I gonna care if you're really only 12% of the population? Regardless if you're driving yourself into debt by trying to go and buy my product. One, I'm not necessarily marketing to you if you're not in a certain tax bracket. So even if you are spending all your money at this level trying to get to me, I'm not even marketing to you. So why, as a business, would I even care about you?
If your marketing is luxury or whatever, these people don't, just because they don't live a real luxurious lifestyle does not mean they don't find themselves to be luxurious.
I mean, it doesn't, but on average, that you're not my customer. So why would I care about your needs anyway as a business? You know what I'm saying?
And that is a terrible way to do business.
I don't think so, because I mean, you have to have a target market.
You can have a target market without offending other markets.
Yes, you can.
I mean, you should.
You can, but you're not my concern. I mean, if we're really talking about this, I mean, it's business.
But do you have to look at it that way? It's not. There's nothing wrong with saying you're not necessarily my target market, but to say I'm about to offend the shit out of you while I talk to my target audience, excuse me, is really like, that's bad business to me.
I don't even think that that's bad business. I think that that's like a strategy. Because just look at it in terms of, look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump, everything that he does is to appease his base. His base is his target market, and he offends the fuck out of everybody else in the process of trying to appease his target market.
And his rating is like 0.
He don't care.
He doesn't have to care, but he won't be reelected. If your goal is to get reelected,
I don't know about that, but
I don't think that he'll get reelected.
I don't know about that.
I absolutely don't think that he'll get reelected.
I mean,
I think if Ann Coulter is on the internet screaming, "I hate you, Donald Trump," basically calling him an idiot,
I don't think
there's a turn in his target market. There's a turn there. So those are the same people that were riding behind him the first time that are now becoming offended or disgusted by his behavior, because now his best interest is the only thing. Their best interest doesn't even fake matter anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even. Okay, so Ann Coulter, first of all, like, who the fuck is listening to Ann Coulter?
Somebody
is.
I
mean, like, do you think that people
that
like,
bitch is on all over the place?
I know. I mean, I know that, but I'm saying, like, do you think that people are like following Ann Coulter and like, you know what, I'm going to do what Ann Coulter tells me to do?
It's not necessarily following Ann Coulter,
but is she supposed to be? I mean, if she's putting her word out there, and way that you are talking about is like she's an influencer, so she would be influencing people to think the way that she think, or encouraging them to think the way that she think and agree with her and to side with her versus over Trump. And her issue is really about this bill and the wall and getting the funding, how he's going about getting the funding for the wall. She doesn't think that he should sign this bill. That's really what her whole issue is about. Like, she think that he should get the wall, but that he should get the wall by other means.
And there are people sitting at home right now who think the same thing. And it's not necessarily that they're following Ann Coulter. It's that they now feel like their best interest, which is what he used to claim to have at his forefront, is now no longer what is in his forefront. Do
you know that there are people that actually believe that he is already building a wall? That is it's exactly
okay.
And that is his base. And those people that believe that he's actually already building the wall do not believe in Ann Coulter. Because I was reading her Twitter posts, and I thought it was hilarious that people was like, what are you talking about? He's already building the wall. Like, Like I was like completely dumbfounded
Well,
that
the
people
reason-
thought that this was already in existence.
It's because of the way the media. Okay, because if you go look at the news headlines, like they come delivered right to your phone, but the only thing that you see is construction begins at Rio Grande Valley. All that means is they went out and put some sticks out, and then I got to fight those people for that land. But to the people looking at it, they're like, yeah, they're starting.
Yeah.
So they're not doing any research.
I mean, I would agree with that people have a tendency to read headlines and listen to sound bites and think that they have like fully researched an issue, and they think that they know what's going on, and they don't, because they don't necessarily read the fine line. But I mean, where we got to this point is talking about how Trump, how his base is his target market, and how he offends everybody else in the process.
Well, I mean, we can agree to disagree that you think that it's a good business practice to offend people.
I don't think it's a good business practice. I think that it's a strategy, and it's a strategy that is seemingly working, and that other companies are taking a page out of his book, and doing so. That's what I think. Like, I don't think that these people are like clueless about you. There's no way you can be clueless about this white woman with this black sweater on with red lips, and what imagery that sends out to people, and what message that sends out. And you can't tell me that these people didn't even have a feeling that it was not okay. And maybe if you wasn't able to verbalize or put into words exactly why you had this feeling, you had a feeling that was like, something ain't right about this.
I don't know. I feel like there are people who are really that obtuse, and they're like,
I can't believe that.
I do. And because the reason why I say that is because there's so many small businesses, small shops that have products and they want to sell it to everybody, right? But they offend certain groups because it's one person, and this is not one person, but this is a group of people like this one person who are like, yeah, we know all the white people, or we know all of this. You know what I'm saying? So everything you put out is directed towards, like you said, your market, but you need somebody to be a buffer for you and say, hey, don't release that. If you care. If you don't care, fine. But if you're concerned about whether or not you're going to become Monique's blackballed, then you need somebody to help you, because otherwise you become a part of what cancel culture. And that can be an ugly place to be.
I mean, I think that if you look at other companies and see that, you know, they've been successful with this strategy, and even if you just look at Trump and say, you know, he still has people afraid to go against him in Congress, his people within his own party. Like, they will agree to all of this bullshit that he wants to do simply because they don't want to be on his bad side and not get reelected. You know, so if you look at that strategy and see how, you know, it seemingly can work, and then it's like, okay, well, why wouldn't I try this as a business? Because I mean, if you don't have morals, you know,
if you don't have any,
if you don't have any,
a whole
you know,
host of things you can do.
But I mean, I think that cancel culture is dangerous to me, because I think that everybody deserves a second chance. I don't think that everybody should just be automatically canceled and like pushed out of society and whatnot.
Right.
Like, I think that's the wrong way to sort of look at something. Like, somebody messes up, even though I don't agree with what Erykah Badu said in terms of R. Kelly.
Yeah.
You know, I understand where she was coming from. I think that he needs to be punished for his behavior, but the minute you start labeling people as certain things or seeing them as certain things, you sort of strip away their humanity and their ability to even be human.
Right.
You know, so it's like, you know, you're still a human being. You still have certain rights as a human being.
Yeah.
And even though you do certain things, yes, you should be punished for those things. but I'm not going to like completely
crucify you.
Yes, and ostracize you from society and be like, you know what, you're no longer a part of the community. You're a part of the jailhouse community is what you are now,
which is a part of the community. But okay,
you know, but I mean, I just think that that cancel culture is a dangerous road that we are kind of going down. I think it's like a lot of different people. Like I think I saw something earlier about Jussie. Is this? I thought you were saying Jussie Smollett. Like people are trying to cancel him.
I mean, I don't even believe he needs to be canceled. I think at this point we need to find out what is going on, because either he's doing something really, really smart or really fucking stupid.
I think it's stupid.
Well, the thing is that what was his logic behind it?
I think it's a publicity stunt,
right? So, but
he didn't need to do that to get.
Neither does Gucci, but
yeah, true.
I mean,
he didn't need to do that.
Well, see, the thing is that I can understand wanting to be where you were whenever your show was, you know, super on top or whatever. But like, first of all, they're not even on right now, right?
I have no idea. I stopped watching Empire like after season 3, maybe.
Right.
It got too soap opera-y for me. Like I was just like over it.
So just, you know, find some really quality work instead and get to work.
Well, I mean, I think that in Hollywood, it's a little bit more difficult because even with the success of Black Panther, and you still see where Black movies are not marketed in no method in which it should be. Like take the movie What Men Want with Taraji.
Yeah.
I actually went and saw that movie. It's actually a funny movie, and
it looked funny.
I was apprehensive at the trailer because the trailer to me, it kind of told you what it was about, but it was just like, this kind of seems dry to me.
You know, that's interesting you said that, because I was actually, my interest was piqued just looking at the billboard, because I could kind of tell what it was because I saw it like several times around the city.
The interesting thing about the billboard to me is I get why they have Tracy on the billboard with her, but he's not even her love interest, and like that's kind of weird that you would have somebody like you would have the two of them, which is a romantic comedy. Is basically what this movie is.
So who was the other guy?
I don't know his name, but I don't even know the name of the show that he was in.
Maybe that's why they don't put him, because he ain't nobody.
But he is so fine. Oh my God.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
He is fine. But it's just like, if you would have put more money into the marketing of that movie, like it probably could have been, I think it was like number 2 or something. Or,
well, who was the production company?
I don't know, but that's just what my point. Like, actually, where I was going with this with Jussie is that, you know, if you can't even find, you know, quality roles, then you need to create stuff for you,
right? And not getting beat up.
Not going that route. And what I was saying was, you know, they don't necessarily put the money towards Black movies and productions.
Well, they're not going to. But this was like us. We don't have a platform. Let's make one. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then you're connected to so many people. Like you have all these connections. And gosh, what his sister was on TV on Underground. That was an Oprah show, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they have connections. This is what anything he wants to do. All he has to do is sell it correctly and say, "Hey, let's try this." Somebody's going to invest in it.
Yeah, I mean, you need to have a good idea. You know, and have something that's
he could have wrote this. He could have wrote this out and acted it. You know what I'm saying?
He really could have.
Instead of doing this, if he wants to be the poster child for the LGBTQ community, okay, he could have written this whole entire escapade as a movie and acted in it.
You know, I saw that there has never been a gay romantic comedy like to hit the big screen. And
well, you know why?
I know why, but
it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, but there is. I saw on Twitter like some guy is writing one right now for it to come to the movie theaters, and he could have very well did something like that. You know, I mean, granted, Black people don't want to see that, but
again, if that's not your target audience, just keep pushing, right?
Right. So I mean that is what it is.
I just really feel like it was an error on his part to even get started with this because of how everything is unfolding. It just makes him look more and more ridiculous. He's becoming a joke.
It makes him look desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like a liar, you know. It's like, so why do you get us invested in this story,
right,
and make us feel you and have us out here fighting for you and saying, you know, this is not good. You have, I mean, all these different celebrities was coming out and was talking about, you know, and now it's like, you know, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
Well, you feel like you're not credible anymore after you follow behind someone who is not credible.
But I think the first time was when Lee Daniels had made a post on Instagram or something, and then he took it down.
Supporting.
Yeah. And so I was just like...
Somebody probably called him and was like, you know, he knew them niggas, right? Oh
yeah, because it's like some Nigerian dudes or something.
Two Nigerian brothers. He paid him $3,500 to stage to beat him up, or to fake beat him up or whatever. But the problem is almost not that he did that. It's just that in the beginning, he made such a fuss about them being white.
Yeah.
And make America great again.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly what white people say when they're like, y'all always want to start shit. Right?
Well, it was just like, it was too much.
All the negatives, right?
Yes, laid it on just way too thick. White, racist, make America great.
Wearing a Klansman outfit.
Noose. Like
carrying a noose, holding up a sign that says James Byrd Jr., all the things.
Like, what did they have?
Like, and then come to find out you set it up and you spent your own money. And then come to find out it's only $3,500. Nigga, you are living bad.
It's just like, it was too much. It's like, wait a minute. This just didn't even seem believable at this point. Like, they had everything and in 25 below weather.
Girl, and a sign that said, nigger, we hate you. Right. On top of everything else.
And the little crayon coloring thing that somebody sent to him, like, the day before. Like, what? Like, it's just, it was like way too, like, you laid it on way too thick.
Too much.
You could have peeled it back some.
To say, I'm not sure who it was.
Right. You know, I just heard these things. I don't know. Like, why would you say all of that?
And then whenever they tried to take his phone and he tried to fight that, it's like, you are setting yourself up for this.
Well, why you need my phone though? Like,
but honestly, if you have an incident like the one he described, you would be like, here, look, and give it back to me. No, he wanted to be like, I need my lawyer up here because like so you started to look a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how you would look a little shady, but it's just like, wait a minute, are you investigating me? Like, at that point, it becomes like a defense.
But they need to be investigating him, though.
I mean, they do. But
so that's why they ask those kinds of questions. So they make sure that they don't need to be
like, it's like,
investigating
nah, son, you don't need my phone. Like, no, I'm not just supposed to give over my phone.
I feel like
what? Why would there be anything? I didn't tell you anything about my phone. So why are you looking into my phone? I told you about this.
If they really wanted the records, they could have went and subpoenaed the phone company.
They could have, but it. Well, yeah. I mean, I've had my phone subpoenaed, and they only keep it for so long. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. When we find out CareFusion owns all the so like, okay, so let's talk about Chrisette Michele for a second. I feel like
I don't know what's going on with her.
Well, nothing really, except for she's been canceled, and we know that she got canceled when she went to that inauguration. Oh,
Chrisette Michele. You know what? I was thinking about K. Michelle. I was like, what's? That's why I was like, I don't know what's going on with her.
Trump would never. President Trump would never.
And I was.
He would not. He'd be like,
I was sitting here like, I know she was naked on Instagram recently, but I'm like, I don't know anything else is going on.
You know what? I'm just gonna pray for her. I'm gonna pray for the spirit of K. Michelle, because really it boils down to that's a desperate child right there. If she talks about Idris Elba one more time while he is happily engaged to this other woman, and then I didn't even know that they were a couple at any time.
Her and Idris Elba was a couple. Oh yeah, it was like a couple years ago or something, right?
Right. Yeah. And she keeps talking about it.
I think they just went out. I don't know if they was like a whole couple. I think they just went out on a couple of dates. They probably fucked. Yeah.
And she can't let go.
Yeah.
And she continues to talk about it to try to make herself feel relevant. But about Chrisette Michele, I feel like she was wrong for going to that inauguration. Now I say it because Now because of how she is now. Oh, my career is ruined. But what did you think was going to happen when you saw that the entire Black community was like, please don't do this? Mm-hmm. And you were like, but wait, let me show y'all first.
Everybody warned her.
Yeah, because that at the time, specifically, it's like that was a real slap in the face of people who pay money to see her, people who pay money for her albums, and that kind of thing. So I think those are the people who are like, oh, we can't, because I didn't really cancel her because I don't really.
I used to listen to her. Got that "Blame It on Me" song. Oh my God, I used to listen to that song. That CD,
right?
Whatever CD that was, I used to listen to that a lot. Mm-hmm. I think that her thing was just the timing. Like everybody was so angry at that time, you know. So and it was just like we go from Obama to Trump.
And really? Your ass, the first Black
really, and it's like everybody feelings were hurt.
Oh, I cried.
You know, like because it's like, what are we doing as a country, and why are we going this direction? Like right. This, I mean, he had so many things like stacked up against him, and
the
this
sexism, the racism, the prejudice, the classism, just all of it,
everything. You know, and it's like, you know, you would have thought that, you know, people don't necessarily look at crimes against women as crimes, to be honest, you know. Mm-hmm. And so when he made fun of that vet that was in a wheelchair or whatever it was,
some outrageous that he did.
Yeah, and so it's like, you know, we're still not drawing the line there. Like, right. So I mean, so just the timing of everything with her, like I think that's why things went so hard against her. So it's like, you know, and the reason why I was bringing that up is because nobody has canceled Gladys Knight because she sang at the Super Bowl or Big Boy, you know, like, and people would, and it's kind of like, it's similar, but it's not the same because it's not as much frustration because because people are for Cap. But they also, it's like, oh, it's Sunday and I still want to watch football. I love football. You know what I mean? So it's like I've grown up with this. I understand your plight, but the game is on.
I think, like you said, I think you're exactly right because I think it was timing. Because I think for this specific incident with the Super Bowl, I think people say no to stuff based on their best interests, of course. Mm-hmm. We don't know what her financial situation is. Obviously,
well, she teaches yoga classes now.
Yeah, so obviously sis is living like a normal person,
right?
But I think for Gladys Knight, I think no one would dare at this point be like, "Oh, Gladys."
I mean, she's about to die. Like
Big Boy, what can I say? Because he doesn't care. You know what I mean? I think if you give a fuck, I think you're affected more by the cancel culture. I think that because
he said the whole ATL whole is like, calm down.
Yeah,
like everybody was like, oh, okay, he represented the ATL, he putting us on the map or whatever, you know, Black culture, blah blah blah.
I think if it had been a fresh Atlanta artist, that'd have been a problem. I think, but due to the fact that he feels like he is Atlanta Jesus, and people there do too.
Well, people were already mad because, you know, Atlanta is like
a Black Mecca.
Yeah, music central, and that there was nobody on the lineup that was from Atlanta. And it's like, you know, so you have all of these artists that are from Atlanta. You have T.I., you have
but
I was about to say Soulja Boy.
He got that one song. Just kidding. No, didn't he have two songs? But really his money comes from so much other shit.
But I don't think he's actually from Atlanta though. I think
he's from somewhere else.
Yeah, I think he's repping Atlanta, but he's from somewhere else. Like I think he's from LA or something. Like I don't know.
Who knows? He might be from Podunk, Tennessee or somewhere.
But yeah, people were like upset because, you know, Atlanta is known for its music. And so instead of you finding somebody in Atlanta, Usher Atlanta. Like,
I mean, but that goes back to the person who put that shit together. Who is the person who orchestrated finding the guests, finding the talent for that?
But they had such a hard time finding people.
I mean, because everybody. I mean, and then my thing is, if you're socially aware, social media aware, and you're the person that's getting the talent, you're not finna show, hey, would you love to come? And you see them like all year long be like, fuck NFL, fuck, and you're like, would you want to come perform? Do you
I
think
don't.
maybe
But
you
like
could bless
Beyonce
us?
and Jay-Z, they didn't want to do it, but they send their artists out to go do it. You know, so it's like
The money is there. Go get it. I'm just not, because that's why I said I think it's dependent upon your conditions. Chrisette Michele obviously needed money,
yeah.
so she took that job. But I feel like you said, it just was the wrong time for her.
I think that Chrisette Michele, if she had not have done it, she probably would have gotten more shows. Like if she would have turned it down,
People would have been like, "Oh, girl,
yes,
come out."
exactly. Like, you know, they would have more people would have actually supported her.
Mhm.
And I get her position in where she feel like, you know, she was trying to bridge a gap or whatever. But it's
Bitch,
like, girl, this is not
the time.
This not the one.
This is not the gap you need to bridge.
This not for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, son, no, whatever. Like, why would you?
Negative.
And you know he's just using you because they're all like, you know, we get one black one. You know what I mean? So we can show that we're not racist because we have Chrisette Michele here. She's doing it. We like her.
Girl,
you
and
know,
the person who's orchestrated that move, getting that talent, was like, she would need this.
yeah.
And they went right to her ass.
yeah. And she took that it was like $150,000 or something. And
now she went and built her a little yoga studio, and that's where she works.
and money's gone.
Right. But if you want to come on our show, we would definitely open our arms to you to discuss your side of the story and what happened with you. I feel like cancel culture, as Danielle said earlier, is dangerous because it doesn't allow for growth. Because people's mistakes, even on that large of a scale, are an opportunity for them to learn.
I think she just needs to go to Europe.
Just Josephine Baker, the whole thing.
For real. She's obviously she's very
Think that's where R.
talented.
Kelly's going?
No, he's going to Australia. Well, he's trying to go to Australia. I don't think they want him.
I thought he was trying to go to that place in Germany where they had like the young girls who can't say no or something.
I don't. Well, he
That's
probably should go to
terrible.
Thailand.
I don't want to get canceled. Let me retract. Thailand.
That's where like the sex trafficking and all that stuff. They have the little girls and the
She
boys.
didn't say that.
Okay.
They got little young girls and little young boys.
You
They're
know,
over
and
there.
the trans.
They're over there at the Thai
yeah.
Spice Inn just waiting for somebody to
waiting
come
on
through
you.
the back and pick them up.
with the micro peens, you know,
Oh.
like they just trying to do it.
Hmm.
They're trying to make a living for themselves.
Right.
You got to do it how you got to do it, girl.
Right. Okay, well, that was...
I mean, it is what it is.
It is. You know, I thought that wine was 19 Crimes.
Oh yeah, it does look like that
It
bottle.
looks like it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
this is Chain Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about our live show before we roll
Mm-hmm.
this one up and smoke it. Just kidding. Okay. So Post Lounge, March the 1st, right?
Mm-hmm.
7 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Till
10.
whenever.
Party hardy. Okay, so definitely that's what I was going to say. So we know Cardi B is going to be at the rodeo that night. Please don't feel like you have to go see Cardi, because what you need to be doing is coming to see us. So when you get done doing whatever it is that you're doing, come through, wear your great Wakanda gear, your African garb or whatever. If you go overboard, you will be memed.
Oh, I need to go buy me something. I have one skirt.
You know, what's her name? Erica Cabell. She makes some really nice stuff. I think I might see if she can make me a jumpsuit or something.
That'll be cute. You know, I have a skirt, but I think it's too big now. Like maybe I should go get it taken in.
Yeah, you've lost some weight.
Just a little bit. I'm probably gaining now because I eat.
I eat too. You know what? In my head right now, and this is terrible, all I can think about is when I get home, how I'm going to eat some more of that gravy that I cooked. Look, I didn't get this booty eating just lettuce. So how did you like the wine? You liked it okay?
I actually really like it. Like, it has like a nice little sweetness to it, but it's not overpowering. And I think it's very smooth. and it has like a little bit of a kind of a kick to it. Like it kind of takes a little bit of a
Like a pepper or something?
yeah, like a pepper
Yeah.
on the back end.
Mhm.
But I think the finish is really nice. So I give it a 22.
I actually really like this, I think. And you know, I'm not really a red fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like this. I think I'm going 23.
Oh,
Danielle's like, oh shit. Oh shit.
oh, okay.
I think I'm going to give it a 23.
Okay. I feel like that's an average 22. But
Okay. That's fine. Shit.
I mean, I'm not going to add it or anything.
I know. But I mean, I like it.
I feel like that is. That's pretty.
I like it.
I like it too. I haven't even been drinking reds lately, but
This kind of hit it.
yeah,
Good
it
job,
does.
Danielle. Good
Okay.
choice. Where'd you get that one from?
HEB.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I almost didn't get it. I was starting to get another one. I was like, you know what? Let me try this white man with this hat on.
Okay. Oh, criminal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, so don't forget our show on the 1st. That's going to be our 100th episode.
Mm-hmm.
This is 98. Friday coming up, we'll do 99. And then next week, 100 live from Post Lounge.
Yes. Make sure you go to our website, get you a ticket.
Yep, they only
Come
$5.
on-
You
come
can fuck that
on
off on some
through.
chips.
And we're also going to do a raffle.
Yeah, we have some really great things in the raffle.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
really great stuff. I can't even name them all. There's so many great options.
it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually need to add a ticket on the Eventbrite
For the raffle?
For the raffle.
Okay.
I'll probably do like a combination, like a ticket and a raffle, and then
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
can buy both.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we head over to our website, betweenusgirlspodcast.com.
Yep.
Get your ticket for the show.
Yep, and don't forget to wear your greatest Ankara or African garb. We're gonna be so cute.
We're
We'll
gonna be like
forever.
this. Shh. Do the chest bump.
Yes, Wakanda forever. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Shit. this how we shut it down. So.
Thank you for joining us on Between Us Girls. But don't keep it a secret. Listen and share with everyone you know. See you next week.